Welcome back to Weird Stuff in a Can. Today I've got white fungus dessert soup. So this is the last of the cans I got from StarryMart, and this is called white fungus dessert. Googling around, this appears to be white fungus dessert soup. Ingredients kind of match. Ingredients which are, by the way, water, white fungus, 36%, rock sugar, red dates, wolfberry. Wolfberry is another word for, I think, goji berries. I don't know whether this is meant to be consumed hot or cold. Inside the lid, there is a small folding spoon, which tends to suggest to me that that's meant to be eaten straight from the can as a, part of a packed lunch or something like that. You take that with you, you can eat it straight out of the can, which would tend to suggest that it could be eaten cold. I'm going to try it cold, and I'll try warming it up as well, because, as I say, my search results suggest that it could be either. Children under age 5 and elderly should be under supervision when consuming this product. It doesn't say why, though. As usual, I had trouble translating all of the script on the can. This, which I initially took to be a warning, don't do this, do this, I think is more of a assurance of quality about the product. Well, I don't think there's an awful lot else to say, except I have had one white fungus. I had a white fungus drink before, the bird's nest thing, and I really didn't enjoy that. There is a pull tab. I'm going to use this because I think that's going to be easier anyway with my broken finger, but I would have done that anyway, because why wouldn't you use a can opener when you can? Oh boy, it looks really gloopy. Look at that. Oh no, it's kind of, yeah. Okay, when they say wolfberry, they do mean berry, singular. Oh boy, that looks really challenging. Actually, no, that might be the wolfberry. That's the wolfberry. That must be the date, the red date. I wonder if it's still got its stone in it, if indeed it's that kind of a date, or just something called a date. Anyway, oh boy, doesn't that look stringy and gelatinous. Well, let's have a sniff. Smell is very, very neutral. Just kind of smells ever so slightly sort of sweet and fruity. I think we'll get this out in a bowl because I don't think we can really appreciate it properly unless we do. Texture is like egg white. Like raw egg white. Look at the gloop on that. There it is. It is the drip that keeps on dripping. Right, well, there's several things to try in here. I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting that the ingredient said, oh, red dates. Well, it said plural and there's singular, but it does say wolfberry, and there's our wolfberry. Right, well, we should try a bit of the liquid. If it'll actually stay on the spoon. It's all in one string, and it tends to siphon itself off the spoon. Like that, whatever it is, that weird polymer that does it, self-siphoning polymer. Anyway, here we go. Yeah, still no distinct smell, and to taste. Very neutral taste. Ever so slightly sweet and fruity. Nothing especially to dislike there. The texture is super gloopy. Let's try a bit of the actual white fungus itself now. Yeah, almost no bite or anything to it. It is like, okay, texturally, this is like pieces of cooked egg white mixed with a bowl of raw egg white. That's probably the closest I can get to describing the texture. The flavour's not bad. The flavour's not very much at all, actually. It's not much of anything. It's kind of just there. Wolfberry, which, as I say, I think is goji berry. It's a relative of tomatoes. Little seeds in there. Not a lot of flavour. And red date, which might be the tastiest thing in the can. We will find out in just a moment. I'm actually going to pick that up, I think, and have a look inside. So I don't know if that's an actual date, because there are you get a lot of things called plum or date or whatever that aren't related to plums or dates. Let's give it a taste. Again, that has even less flavour than the soup itself. There is a little seed in there, and I would say, judging from the appearance of that seed, that probably is a true date. That's a palm fruit. Anyway, well, there it is, white fungus dessert. Like I say, there's nothing to hate about the flavour, because the flavour's just really subtle and mild. And I don't mind mild and subtle flavours. I'm not sure what it would be like if there was more flavour, you know, to counteract the gloopiness. And the fungus stuff, this white stuff, is just, it's not even as firm as scrambled egg. Right, I've tried it cold. I'm going to take that downstairs, just give it a little warm, and then we'll come back and give that a taste when it's warm, because as I understand it, it can be eaten either way. Back in just a moment. Okay, well, here we are. That is now warmed up. Texture hasn't changed significantly. Might be a little bit more runny now. Has the warmth brought out any aromas we didn't perceive the first time round? Not really. I think it's actually a bit nicer to eat. I think from my palate perspective, which obviously slimy and gloopy and stringy textures are not generally considered desirable in my kind of cultural background. So I think when it's warmer, I find it easier to accept that texture. The texture comes across as more syrupy than kind of gloopy when it's warm. I think it probably has loosened up a bit. And yeah, there is a flavour that's come out, which is like a very, very mild dried fruit or caramel flavour. Not unpleasant. It is doing a weird sort of coating thing to my lips and to a certain extent my teeth. Well, I think I'll finish the rest of this off camera. You'll have to decide whether you believe me or not about that. Anyway, that was white fungus dessert, weird stuff in a can on atomic shrimp. I hope that's been interesting. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.